This is lesson 9-4, example 3, and we are on page 617, and this should be the last video because we will not be doing the last page or the last example of this lesson. So we are looking at example 3, finding areas in the coordinate plane with a different approach by subtracting. Let's read the paragraph above it, and I am going to try to turn my phone for us to read this together. Let's see how that'll work. Okay. For a figure in a coordinate plane that does not have an area formula, it may be easier to enclose the figure in a rectangle and then subtract the areas of the parts of the rectangle that are not included in the figure. Let's talk about what that means. We have this figure that you can see in the bottom, here we go, of the picture. It does not have an area formula because it's apparently, I'm looking at this and thinking, well, it looks kind of like a trapezoid, but I bet these are not parallel, which means the bases are not parallel and can't be a trapezoid. So therefore, it's not a shape that we're familiar with an area for. So they're saying that it may be easier to enclose it in a rectangle, as you can see that they've done. They've chosen the rectangle. They've simply made the rectangle as small as possible to touch all 4 vertices of the enclosed shape. And from there, they look to see what shapes were created that are not shaded, that are not a part of what we're really finding the area for. And what they were left with was 4 triangles around the outside. Now, triangles are super easy for us to find the area of. So what they're going to lead us to do is find the area of the whole rectangle and then find the area of the 4 triangles and then say area of rectangle minus area of triangle A minus area of triangle B minus area of triangle C minus area of triangle D, and what we will be left with is the area of this unusual shape in the middle, which is what we were asked to find the area of in the first place. So let's work on that. I'm not going to really focus on the math here, mostly just on the approach because this math should be very familiar to you, and let me adjust my setup just a little bit if this will work. Okay, so the first thing that we needed to do, if the figure was not drawn for us, of course, was plot our points. Remember, I recommend labeling those points. The second thing we needed to do is realize we don't really have a formula that works here. So we're going to draw a rectangle around it. We're going to make the rectangle as small as possible. So it's going to come down the side touching that vertice, or that vertex, down this side touching this vertex, and across the top in the same way and the bottom. So then we have a rectangle where we've created these 4 triangles. Now we simply need to find the area of each triangle, and you'll see that they've done that. Triangle A, triangle B, triangle C, triangle D. The formula, of course, is area equals half the base times height for each one. The base times height are really easy to figure out here because they're on vertical and horizontal lines. So for example, with triangle A, we could call this side our base, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. We could call this our height, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter which one we call the base and the height as long as they are perpendicular to each other, which we can tell that they are. And so we will say 4 times 5 is 20, divided by 2 is 10. So this triangle is 10 units. Then we would do the same with B, with C, and with D. And we have all of our units written here. The next thing we need to do is find the area of the whole triangle, or we could have done that first. So the area of the whole triangle is base times height. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 times 7 is 56. So we have 56 units. You'll see this. The area of the polygon is 56 units minus triangle A, which is 10, minus triangle B, which is 3, minus triangle C, which is 5, minus triangle D, which is 9, and that gives us a total of 29 units squared for the shaded polygon that we were asked to find the area for. That's a pretty cool approach. It's a pretty easy approach. I hope that's helpful. That is all we're going to do with lesson 9-4 as far as videos go, and you have an assignment for homework to go with it on the lesson plans.